Yes, this is basic geometry. Your flat Earth
then there would
geometry.
be no measurable change in elevation. Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore Earth is not flat. And in maths you can prove whatever you like. I'm saying it's not physics. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, so where does the proof of your flat Earth, where does that come into it?
You measure Earth as flat with a flat baseline to a ground position to start.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles. How useful for proving a flat Earth?
It's a measurement of a flat Earth. Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
So what about the proof then, right? Does the proof of flat Earth that you have, does that lie within the bounds of science?
I will get triggered now because this is a dishonest prick.
Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
Well, I was just wondering, when you were talking about proof of your flat Earth, is that the same proof as the proof that you were talking about with Jaren in science?
I answered the first two times. I said no. Twice. No. Measuring things like a flat baseline to a ground position for stars, not scientific. That's a measurement. Science establishes the cause of an effect. That's the science we deal with. We deal with natural science.
By using scientific
And while
method,
the knowledge can be put on the cover of a book as the science of ground position for star, here we specifically deal with natural
Should I show you how
science.
it's possible,
That's
mate?
the scientific method.
by using
There's the
scientific
distinction.
method to prove the Earth is flat.
And I'll agree with you. In maths, you can prove things in the maths. The maths itself is an abstract language. Whereas physics, that's science and the scientific method, is dealing with the physical. It's the difference between science, physics, the physical, and maths, which
Should I
is
show
an
you how it's
abstract
possible,
language
mate?
to describe things. Now, if you're saying you can prove things with maths, 1 + 1 = 2. Ground position. Proof. To start.
And you were equal to, you've had one plus the other one. I can accept that that's proof.
Ground position. Maths. To
Yeah.
start. In physics, it isn't proof.
Should I show
because
you
it
how it's
isn't
possible,
physics.
mate?
Physics is the
By
physical.
using scientific method to prove the Earth
Okay,
is
again,
flat.
I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science, but I can use method, the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
Ground position. To start.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
I got your numbers right here.
Yes, that's correct.
It's just as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Sphere, not see
You
thing.
have to open your mind.
Flat, I see thing.
Imagination is all you need.
You do know science is also
Don't
deductible.
take advice from fools.
That is a fact.
Everything that they say is in vain.
This is a flat Earth proof.
Yes, that's correct.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Should I show you how it's possible, mate? By using scientific
Yes,
method
that's correct.
to prove the Earth is flat.
An Earth was proved to be flat by these measurements.
So we would assert that that average is how average the level of level is. It's flat. There it is. That's how we use it.
The deviation from that reference means it isn't flat.
Everything is relative to you.
I will get triggered now because he's a dishonest
You
prick.
just have to say
Yes, that's correct.
generality.
It's a what is.
Just
Go.
like those straight lines of curves.
Means it isn't flat.
Yes, that's correct.
Drive down the road, don't you ever.
The elevation changes make the Earth not flat.
Third, then, it's a stupid argument. So this is a flat Earth proof.
All of this goes.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person. I am my own person.
Yes, that's correct.
Everything that they say is in
By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
Never take advice from fools.
To prove the Earth is flat.
That they do is in vain.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person.
What's your observed phenomenon for a flat Earth?
Did I say flat Earth was my observed phenomena, or did I say I can use scientific method to prove it's flat? Huh.
Okay, what's your observed phenomenon? to prove that it's flat.
I see too far. How's that?
I know the game that you're playing,
You want to know, JC?
and I know exactly what's on your mind.
Now I'm just letting the FED crew know
You
that
got your playbook, it's alright.
their lapdog needs more
Your
training
model dictates what you will find.
because you're an idiot.
And I don't know
Okay, what's your observed phenomena to prove that it's flat?
where all of this goes.
I see too far. How's that?
Don't take advice from fools.
Because you're an idiot.
Everything that they say is in vain.
I'm manipulating my position.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position? Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position?
What does your position have to do with the shape of the Earth?
You have an angle towards this.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles.
Observe, which is
How
already
useful
too far
for
to
proving a
see.
flat Earth.
Now that is scientific fact. There's no real evidence for it, but it is scientific fact.
The rebuttal is actually a straw man. And that's, why I want to clarify, because I think that's worth pointing out, that the rebuttal was a straw man. Nowhere in the argument is the words level plane even mentioned. Topography is not mentioned. And it's only about the elevation change, which is a measured change on the vertical datum. There is no conflation between baseline and topography in the argument. It's just a simple if-then argument about elevation change. And obviously the Earth is not flat because of elevation change. That's what the argument is about. I mean, we can read it out, the entire if-then, again, if it's needed.
Read me one more time, just so I can hear it again. Sorry, say it one more time.
If the Earth is flat, Pete,
Okay.
then there would be no measurable change in elevation. Q.
Okay.
Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore, Earth is not flat.
But the refutation to the argument being that there's some sort of conflation going on between a baseline and topography is just a straw man, because that's not the case for anybody who actually reads the argument. That's my point.
Well, it's not an argument because you're convoluting the baseline from which you will measure, which is your mean sea level. You're convoluting that with the topology you're trying to measure. So it's not an argument. Just you're misusing words.
And me stating the fact that mean sea level is a point on a vertical datum and not a level plane is just a statement of fact. Mean sea level is not a level plane, it's simply a point on a vertical datum. That's all.
Yes, but it's not a level. You don't understand that. What you just said.
Stupid non-argument, you stupid bonehead!
Okay, again, I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat, not the Earth.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry. I was clicking a button. I'm trying to adjust something in OBS here. I didn't realize I was hitting the mute button. Yeah, we do a 24/7 live stream on here, and then you can find us on YouTube at Demon Stride, or search for Medicinal Mass Debates for those coming up.
Okay, were you just talking?
What do you?
Stream there, yeah. Sorry. Go on.
No, yeah, no. I was. You were asking what we do here on the server, and I was just kind of giving a little rundown. But I was also hitting the mute button, so it's very professional.
Very medicinal of you.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Harvard course.
So do you do a lot of flat earth fighting here?
Debating.
We try. We're not fighting. We like to have civil discussions here.
Nice.
When we can.
Yeah, we're trying to have a steelman debate, but there's not really a flat earther willing to steelman the globe.
Yeah, so we have globers pretending to be flat earthers and doing the opposite of a straw man, where you're trying to support their argument the best you can. But yeah, if you know any flat earthers who can steelman for the globe, we'd love to do an event with them.
Dogmatic globe proofs. We've got a few.
When you say dogmatic, it sounds like you say science isn't willing to change their position.
No, that's not what dogmatic is it? Not to do with science.
Well, then what do you mean then?
It's a forced position that you have to hold.
Well, no, because if it's forced, then that means you're not willing to change your mind.
Well, no, they say the dogmatic globe is a forced position.
But they're willing to change their mind on things they get wrong. I mean, take the more recent thing that everybody keeps talking about is the whole quote-unquote crisis in cosmology.
All right, welcome, Mr. FTFE, to the Medicinal Mass Media. How you doing?
Mr. FTFE? I'm not your dad. I'm just FTFE. Thank you very much for having me here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for helping arrange this as well. And hello to everybody watching on your YouTube channel. If the mods in my channel could also pop the link to the Medicinal Mass Media YouTube channel that is showing this as well. And do me a favor and go and subscribe to that, guys.
Awesome, thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to give the floor to Craig and Bev. Anyone else tries talking, you're going to get muted. Go ahead, guys.
Hello, Beverly. How are we?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Yes.
Nice.
So, quick question for you, Bev. What shape is the Earth?
I don't know. Doesn't have a
You
shape,
don't know?
does it?
Well, yeah, it definitely does have a shape, yeah.
Okay, and what shape do you think it is?
Well, I know it's an oblate spheroid.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been measured several million times. So what's your response to that?
Brilliant, fantastic. Can we get round to the fact that you think I lie to my son about that?
Well, yeah. You lie to your son about the shape of the Earth, which is, not a very nice thing to do.
How have am I lying?
Because you tell your son the Earth's not a globe.
Who says that?
Well, you told me that specifically in our previous debate, that you tell him that the Earth isn't a globe because it's not.
Everyone knows 'tis globe, right? Everyone.
Well, flat earthers don't know it's a globe because, their mothers use their soft spot as an ashtray, I assume. And I know for a fact, Bev, that even though you don't like the term, you are a flat earther.
I'm not a flat earther.
No, you absolutely are a flat earther, Bev.
That the Earth is not flat, right? So
Does the Earth sit between two parallel points 100 or more miles apart? Is there a level surface between those 2 points?
You can't have parallel points. That's fucking ridiculous, Craig.
You can't have parallel points.
Yes, let's get to reality with
Yeah,
it.
do you want to explain how you can't have two parallel points?
Because points aren't parallel. You need straight lines in order to be parallel.
Yeah. So, 2 points with a parallel. So you take point A and you take point B and you put parallels on them. Are those
FTFE,
parallels?
real quick, sorry to interrupt. Bev is not...
with all due respect, this is just a conversation between Bev and I.
I know, Bev is not audible on your YouTube stream.
Yeah, they're saying they can't hear Bev.
Bev is not audible. I do apologize. Why is that not coming through?
On FTFEs or on mine?
No, the Discord stream is not coming through on your live stream.
Right, I'm
On
sorry.
FTFEs,
Let me sort that out. My bad.
No, don't worry. Sorry, I want to interrupt again.
We can hear you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Right, mic check.
Can hear you.
Can someone? Yeah, there we go. It's coming through now. My bad, people.
Now, can they hear Bev?
Yeah, they should be able to now. Right. So what's happened up to this point, guys? Just so you know, sorry, I had a flirf moment with tech there. Bev has disagreed that he is a flat earther, and I'd like to hear him, substantiate that. He disagrees that the Earth has a shape. Isn't that right, Bev?
There isn't a shape.
I mean, is an oblate spheroid a shape? Yes or no?
Well, that's obviously some sort of a spheroid, right? That's a shape.
So you agree that an oblate spheroid is a shape?
Yeah,
is that
square
correct?
is a shape, and a triangle and a circle.
Yeah. No, this is a yes or no question, Bev.
Mm-hmm.
Is an oblate spheroid a shape? Yes.
You just answered
or
that.
no?
Yes, Craig. It's a
yes.
shape.
Fantastic.
Right.
And as the Earth is an oblate spheroid, therefore the Earth has a shape.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
That's what you say.
No. It's what reality
I would say
says.
that. I would say that. How could you have that, and how could you say that when there is deviance in elevation, like there is?
Elevation isn't curvature; they're different things.
Go on, explain, please.
You can have elevation above the surface of a sphere.
They're saying Bev is too loud now.
Now they're saying Bev's too loud. Okay, about.
Aren't they fussy? Hey, you should get your tech sorted out.
Yeah, I've recently done a lot of repairs on my PC, so everything is kind of reset. So that my bad.
Can't wait till I get subscribers to tell me my stream's not working. I just have to find out after the fact.
All right, guys watching. I apologize for the tech issues there, but yes, we are back here. So sorry, Bev, you were telling us about your problems with the Earth being an oblate spheroid.
No, we're just going to get round to that. You're shape obsessed. We're going to get round to the bit where you talk about where I lie to my son. That's what the point we're in.
Do you tell your son the Earth's an oblate spheroid?
No.
Then you're lying to your son.
Why?
Because the Earth's an oblate spheroid.
Well, do you tell your son that the Earth's an oblate spheroid?
Absolutely, because it is. I like to tell my son the truth.
Of that?
Yeah, because that's the truth, and I like to tell my son the truth.
Do you tell your son that level isn't horizontal?
I tell my son that level can have many different definitions depending on the context.
Okay.
That there is not just one definition of level. And that when we are talking about the Earth, level means conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface. And according to surveyors, true level is the curvature of the Earth. So,
But a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference.
A water tool is a tool that reacts to the forces of gravity.
But a water level, like I say, a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference.
Yeah, and a water level will react to the forces that are created by gravity. So one side of the water level will not be completely perpendicular to the other side of the water level, assuming that by a water level you mean like a tube with, you know, connected at two ends with water on both ends. Those two sides of the water level will not be completely perpendicular to each other. They will deviate away from each other. This is measured. This is factual.
They will have an equal elevation. I don't know what you're talking about, perpendicular. It's
Yeah,
just two ends of a water
elevation.
level. They'll have an equal
Yeah.
elevation.
Again, elevation is not curvature. You
No,
can
I didn't
have
say it was.
elevation.
It's a horizontal plane of reference.
Yeah, you can. All right. So if you have two sides of the water level that are both 10 meters above the surface of the Earth, there will still be a curve in between them.
Will there?
Yes.
Okay. And would that curve go higher than the 2 points?
No, it would stay the same elevation above the surface of the Earth.
Okay, so the
you're going the Nathan Oakley route here of not understanding what elevation and level means.
No,
you certainly are going the Nathan Oakley route of not understanding what elevation and level means.
No, you're
This is
the
definitely
one
the Nathan
that
Oakley
says
route.
that this horizontal plane that the water level provides is flat Earth, right? You say that.
No, I'm not.
Same
I
as
never
Nathan
said that at all.
Oakley.
I never said that once.
Well, you calling me a flat earther?
You are a flat earther, yes.
Well, because I say that level is horizontal.
I mean, that could possibly be one of the definitions of level.
Okay. Well, that is the
Under
definition
certain-
that
under
I
certain
would go
con-
with.
So you ignore all the other definitions.
What are the other definitions?
Well, if you look in the dictionary and go to the word level, there will be a whole bunch of them. Do you just choose one and go with that? I mean, there's nouns, there's adjectives. You know, what are you using here?
There's a bubble level, water level.
Beverly, I'm talking, right? Level.
Who's Beverly?
You are Beverly.
No, I'm
level.
I'm called Bev.
Yes, Beverly, I know. Level can mean many different things. And when we are talking about the Earth, level means a curve conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's
We're
surface.
talking about the water level that is
Yeah, which is
horizontal,
curved.
not the Earth. The tool.
Water level.
Level.
Yeah, but a tool, water level, is not the same as the word level. They are different things.
Well, like an auto level.
Yeah, again, that is not level. That is a tool called an auto level.
That
is
establishes
not
a
the word
horizontal
level.
plane of reference.
Yeah, and which you can clearly use to show that the Earth curves.
So there's two levels. One's a water level,
There's
the other one's
lots
an
of-
auto
there's lots of
level,
levels.
and they both
No. Neither of those
provide
are the
a
word level, they are
horizontal
tools.
plane of reference.
They can do.
They do.
Yeah. A water level, as in a tube connected with water at both ends, will not show a horizontal plane of reference because they will deviate away from each other. And if you were to take a 90-degree from azimuth from each side, those lines would not go straight, they would cross each other because they would be deviating away from each other. Because the Earth is an oblate spheroid, Bev.
There's only 2
Whether
points.
you want to admit it or not. There's only 2 points on the Earth.
No, there's only 2 points for the water level. We've got a test, right? Let me
Yeah,
run
yeah.
you through this, right? Do you know, have you ever heard
Yeah,
of
your test that showed the Earth's a globe, yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Bedford level?
Yes, I have. The Bedford level actually established that the Earth is quite clearly a globe with the curvature expected.
Okay, right. Nicely scripted. But you've got 2 bridges.
Scripted? Did you
6
is there a
miles
script in front
apart.
of me?
2 bridges,
Yeah.
6 miles apart.
Correct.
Right? Above the same stretch of water, providing the sluice gates aren't locked.
Yes.
Right. So if you measure an equal elevation above that water at each end of the bridge, you would have 2 points at an equal elevation above a body of water, a canal.
Yep.
Right. Now,
Yeah, and there'd be a curve in between those 2 points.
if you joined those 2 points up, right, with a straight
You would
line.
need a curve to do that.
With a straight line.
You wouldn't be able to. If they would form a tangent to the surface of the Earth.
2 points, right? They would make a straight line. Now,
well, those 2 points would make a straight line that forms a tangent to the spherical surface
it would
of
just
the
be a
Earth.
straight line, and it wouldn't be a tangent to anything because they'll be
It
in the
would
air.
be a tangent to the surface of the
in
yeah,
the
and
air.
it would be a tangent to the surface of the Earth. Yes.
Tangent to what?
To the surface of the Earth. I just said that. Do you have
they're
difficulty
an equal
hearing?
elevation above water, so they're in the air.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And the
altitude.
line connecting them, if it is completely straight,
Yep.
will be a tangent to the surface of the Earth.
Tangent to what?
I'm sorry. Are you having issues hearing? To the surface of the Earth.
But what is a tangent? Is a straight line that touches a curve at 1 point and 1 point only.
Yeah, exactly. And the straight line connecting those 2 points at the same elevation will form a tangent that touches the surface of the Earth, or very close to it.
So what's the surface that it's touching in the air? Is it
Well,
an
it wouldn't
air
be touching
tangent?
the air. The middle of that line, if it is completely straight, connecting point A and B, the middle of that line would touch or be very close to the surface of the water.
Really?
Yes, because that line that connects the two would not have the same elevation along the entire way.
Okay, so you're saying that they're an equal elevation at each end, right, above the
Yes.
water. Let's say
Correct.
Let's say about 5 meters, right, above the
Yes.
water. Now you're saying at
Correct.
the center of that line between those 2 points on a straight line, it's going to be touching something.
Yes, that straight line would form a tangent to the surface of the Earth, or very, very close to a tangent touching the surface of the Earth. Okay. Because, as I just said, that straight line would not have the same elevation as the 2 points the entire way.
So a straight line that's an equal elevation at each end, you're saying, would not have an equal elevation at the center.
Not unless it was a curved line, no.
Okay, so would the water rise up to touch this straight line?
It would appear to rise up from the perspective of a person at either point, because you're always looking down to the horizon.
But you've got it going up, so you've got a hump.
Yeah, it would appear to rise up because of how perspective works.
Mm-hmm. So you go for the hump model, the rising of the center.
It's a level surface.
Yeah, but in relation to these 2 points and this straight line, it rises.
The straight line won't. The straight line isn't level. The straight line is straight, not level.
Okay, equal elevation. So, could you call that straight line horizontal?
No, it wouldn't be horizontal.
Oh.
No, it would be pointing down from either point.
Down.
Yeah. To form a straight line connecting point A and point B, it would have to point down from either side. Because the Earth's curved. Yeah. I mean, is geometry and 3D visualization a little hard for you, Beverly?
Well, I mean, you can try giving these fancy names you want, right? Everybody knows my name.
Which fancy name have I used here? Sorry, did line confuse you? Was that too fancy of a name? Did the word curve, is that too fancy for you? Was geometry too fancy a word for you? Or is tangent confusing to your small brain? Which one is it?
Keep your anger under control, okay?
There's been zero anger at all. I've been smiling this entire time, laughing at how incredibly dumb you are.
Trying to keep you under control, right?
I'm perfectly under control.
Jolly good.
I very much enjoy talking to dumb people. It makes me very happy.
Oh, right.
And just to be clear there, you're the dumb person I'm talking to.
Yeah, I know. That's your threatening or abusive manner that you do.
And which part of my manner has been threatening or abusive?
The one where you call in names.
What names have I called you?
You've called me Beverly, and that's not
yes,
my
Beverly,
name.
I have. That's your name. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. See, like, this is how childish you get, Craig.
Beverly is your name. Please don't
It's
argue with me.
not
That is what I've
my
decided.
name.
It is. Well, it's the name I have given you.
Yes, because you're childish.
If you say so. I agree that is quite childish, and I will keep calling you Beverly because I think it's funny.
Right.
And so far, you have responded to the name Beverly several times, therefore confirming that your name is in fact Beverly.
It's not. My name is not Beverly.
Well,
right?
why have you responded
Everybody
to the name
knows
Beverly
that.
several times?
I mean, what is the idea of this, Craig?
Exactly what's happening now. I'm getting you very triggered, and I'm finding it hilarious.
You think this is getting triggered?
You are clearly getting triggered because I called you Beverly and you don't like it.
No, you're just name calling, right? For
right,
the fact that you've got no argument, and you've just said that a straight line has to go downwards, Craig.
Yeah, if on Earth, if there is 2 points that are
equal elevation,
there are equal elevation above the surface of the Earth, to connect those 2 points, the only way that that line connecting those 2 points would stay the same elevation above the surface of the Earth is if that line was curved.
The shortest distance between those 2 points at an equal elevation would be called, in reality, a horizontal line. But
well, no, because in reality the Earth's curved. So because in reality the Earth is an oblate spheroid, and the water connecting those 2 points curves.
So where's the horizontal line in between those 2 points, right? Is it possible for you to make a horizontal line between A and B?
No, you would not be able to make a horizontal line that connects A and B that would create a 90-degree to azimuth at each point.
You couldn't have a perpendicular at each point.
No, because they are deviating away from each other. You can. In reality, you can't, because plumb lines deviate away from each other.
In reality, you can go to that bridge at each end of the 6 miles and you can make a perpendicular with a plumb bob.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Well, you had a line, a physical line, connecting both points.
You can drop a plumb bob at each end of the bridge.
Yeah, and those plumb bobs will diverge away from each other. Yes, that's been measured.
Well, if you have an equal elevation on those plumb bobs at each end of the Bedford Canal, 5 meters, let's say, then
are you going to misunderstand it again?
In between each one of those points, you could have the shortest straight line distance between A and B. In reality, right? That's possible.
Yeah, in reality, you could draw a straight line that would be the shortest distance between those 2 points. However, as I've said several times, Beverly, that straight line will not have the same elevation above the surface of the Earth along its entire length. The only way that the line would have the same elevation as point A and point B would be if that line is curved.
Right, so the horizontal line that goes from A
it's not horizontal.
to B. But they're at an equal elevation, and a water level is a tool that establishes a horizontal plane of reference, and it would have an equal elevation, an equal altitude at each end, at A and B.
Why are you repeating yourself again?
I'm just trying to make sure that you're on board with what we're talking about.
Let me make this very, very clear for you. Point A has an elevation 5 meters above the surface of the Earth. Yes?
Above the water at Bedford.
Yeah, okay. So point A has an elevation of 5 meters above the water at Bedford.
Yes.
And point B has an elevation of 5 meters above the water at Bedford, correct?
Above the same water.
Yeah, above the same water, right? Okay. Now, if you were to create a completely straight line between those 2 points, that straight line would not have the same elevation of 5 meters along its entire length. As it got towards the middle point, that elevation above the surface of the Earth would get smaller and smaller and smaller until it was nearly a tangent.
Okay.
And then, as it got towards the other one, it would get further and further and further away from the surface of the Earth until it is again 5 meters. The only way that the line connecting point A and point B can be the same elevation as point A and point B along its entire length is if that line is curved. Do you understand?
Right, well, can we go back to it? That
Do you
horizontal
understand?
plane.
Yes or no?
I
hold
understand
on.
what you're saying. Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
Go. Well
but
done.
now, can we agree?
Reality, Beverly.
Can we agree that that is a horizontal plane?
I mean, it wouldn't form a 90-degree angle to each
would it
of the
at
points.
the center where you say it's going to be tangent? Would at that point would it be perpendicular, and would it be classed as a horizontal plane?
A tangent would be a horizontal plane above the surface of a curved surface. Yes,
of that straight line that we've just done from A to B that you said goes across the center. It now is a horizontal plane of reference.
Only from the center point. Okay. That's the only point where it is going to be horizontal. It will not be horizontal at either end, at point A or point B. The only point it will form a horizontal plane is where the tangent touches the surface of the Earth.
Okay, just at the center point.
Yes, this is very basic geometry, Bev, which I understand is the reason you don't understand.
How is it a plane there?
Because it would be a straight line.
But it's a point.
That's what a tangent is.
You just said it's a point. Because the line would go from A to B.
And that line would
be horizontal.
A point on the surface of the Earth.
Would be horizontal.
And that horizontal would only be horizontal at the point in the center. That's the only place.
It's a line. A horizontal is a line, Craig.
Yeah, and again, that's the only place it will be. Again,
and B.
Again, Bev, listen. The only point that line will be a horizontal plane is at the center. It will not be a horizontal plane at point A or point B.
You're doing the monad thing. How can it be a plane at the center point? It's either a plane or a line or a point.
A tangent line is a plane.
Okay. So is it a horizontal tangent line point that goes from A?
It's horizontal
to
in
B?
reference. It is only horizontal in reference to the center.
Okay. Well,
because
you said the
one
horizontal
is not. I'm in the middle of talking, right? One person's horizontal is not another person's horizontal. If I have a horizontal and someone walks 20 meters away from me, their horizontal is no longer the same as my horizontal.
They will diverge away from each other, right?
No.
Of course you could.
No, you can.
Yeah, you can extend a horizontal well over 20 feet.
But it won't be another person's horizontal. It will only be the person's horizontal that is standing in the center of it. It's not anyone else's horizontal.
Well, you could make it an entire plane and have 4 people.
Horizontal is a local thing.
Well,
Bev, horizontal is a
the
local
water level, yeah, from A to B. You can
establish
a horizontal.
From A to B is not local. That is over a distance. Local is 1 point.
Well, like you're saying, local is a point. Because a point is that of which has no parts. That's a nothing. It's a nowhere.
Yeah.
So you're saying local is nowhere.
Words are very hard for you, aren't they, Bev? Words are very, very hard for you. All right. I've made this very, very simple.
First definition in mathematics. Don't worry about it.
I've made this very, very, very simple for you, and I will make it simple again. Okay. Please open your ears and listen. The only way that a line connecting point A and point B that will maintain a 5 meter elevation above the surface of the Earth is if that line is curved. There we go. End of discussion.
Okay. And you definitely go for the hump to go up with the water, not the drop.
I just told you exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, like when Jesse Kozlowski said that the water level drops.
Am I Jesse Kozlowski? Are you debating Jesse Kozlowski or are you debating me?
No, Jesse Kozlowski's done one, and he's never going to come back.
Are you debating Jesse Kozlowski?
I'm not debating you either. Like, because you've got
you absolutely are.
There's no
you
argument
100%
here,
are.
Craig.
This is a stream that is titled a flat Earth debate. FTFE versus Bev try thinking. So we are having a debate.
No,
it is because you're a flat earther.
No, I am not a flat earther, Craig.
Yes, you are. You are a flat earther.
Far from a debate.
You are a flat earther, whether you like it or not. And this is a debate, whether you like it or not.
Well,
of course, the debate is in inverted commas.
This is where you and your fantasies of fighting flat earthers has to come to an end.
I don't fight flat earthers.
I'm not a flat earthers.
You are a flat earther.
Or your neighbours, or whatever you want to fight. Like, there's no need. I'm not a flat earther, and I'm not your neighbour.
What was that about my neighbour?
I said, you're fighting. I'm not worth fighting because I'm not a flat earther, and I'm not your neighbour.
You are a flat earther. Yeah, again, I don't fight flat earthers. I fight the flat earth. And I know you're not my neighbour. Thank fuck. But why are you bringing up my neighbour?
Because you were fighting him. You've got a criminal conviction for fighting people because you get angry.
Dude broke into my house and threatened me, so I beat the fuck out of him. Would you not do the same?
You gave him your missus, but did you get it back? Did you get a bike back?
The police got it back eventually, yeah.
So you did get it back?
Once the police went and found where it was, where he'd sold it for a drug debt, yes.
Well, you got it back. That's good.
The police got it back, yeah, after the whole thing. But again, let me ask you that question again, Bev. If someone broke into your house and threatened you, would you not beat the fuck out of them?
Well, I wouldn't know. You'd have to get some sort of a proof of that sort of stuff, wouldn't you?
No, it's not a proof thing. It's a simple hypothetical question. If somebody forced your front door open, came up to you and threatened you, would you beat them up? Yes or no?
That's not what happened, Craig. Don't start.
But it's absolutely what happened.
No, he was on the front of your house. What happened. You went over the story.
It was the second time.
Don't be bothered changing.
Yeah, that was the second time.
Oh, that was the second time you beat him up. You beat him up twice.
Yes. Yeah, you went over the stream where I did. You should know that, yes.
Is that where you were behaving in a threatening or abusive manner? The one that you pled guilty to?
I did threaten him, yes, because he shouted horrible things at me, and I threatened him and said he didn't give my wife's bike back, there'd be issues. Yes, absolutely. But again, the question, Bev, to you, which you avoided, is if somebody forced your front door open
did he call you a child abuser or something like that?
Again, if somebody forced your front door open, Bev, and threatened you, would you beat them up? Yes or no?
No, I don't
you
know.
Don't like yes or no questions, do you?
I don't know. I've never been put in that situation.
Level.
So you're saying you would just let your family be in danger with some crazy guy breaking into your house? Good to know. Good to know. That's how you would, treat your family. That you're not man enough to defend them when someone forces their way in.
Did you leave the front door open?
No, the front door, it doesn't lock automatically. You can open it from either side.
Okay. So he just opened your door then?
Maybe we could get away from this personal stuff.
Yeah. I was wondering why he's bringing up the personal stuff. It's crazy.
No, he was just on about you fighting flat earthers, because I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah, but and I don't fight flat earthers. When have I fought a flat earther?
I don't know. You're called Fight the Flat Earth.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the same as Fight the Flat Earthers, is it?
You're trying to make level being horizontal a flat earth thing. So you can fight it.
It is.
It's not.
It is, because you're a flat earther and that's what you push.
It's just reality, Craig. And
but
I'm not a flat earther.
You are a flat earther. Whether you like it or not, you are a flat earther.
That's a good argument.
Let me ask you one simple question that will confirm if you are a flat earther or not.
I'm not a flat earther.
Well, this question will confirm it. Do you believe the surface of the Earth can lie between two parallel planes no more than 100 miles apart?
I wouldn't know.
Why wouldn't you know? Didn't you do measurements?
I know that horizontals are parallel, right? I can prove that. But as for your distance, I haven't got a clue.
They're not though. Horizontals aren't parallel. Plumb lines diverge. This has been measured for centuries.
We said horizontals, not plumb bobs.
Yeah, my horizontal is not your horizontal, and plumb lines diverge. So a horizontal relative to a plumb line is not going to be the same as for me as it is for you.
Mm-hmm. I think
So,
this may be where we've found your problem.
No, I'm not the one with the problem here.
Okay,
right?
well,
let me ask you.
Let's
let me ask you
establish a horizontal, like a horizontal, right? Like
a horizontal that is. Are we talking about a horizontal on Earth that forms a tangent to the surface of the Earth? Yes.
How about we're calling on a mathematics board in school, right? You've got the X.
Oh, mathematics. We're talking about mathematics. If we talk about mathematics, then I never got an answer to this question last time. Is non-Euclidean geometry a branch of mathematics?
We're talking about Euclidean geometry on a math board with X and Y.
Yeah.
Craig.
Does Euclidean geometry count if the Earth's a sphere?
Well, a sphere is a Euclidean solid shape, right?
Yeah. Is non-Euclidean geometry a branch of mathematics? Yes or no? Is non-Euclidean geometry a branch of mathematics? Yes or no?
It's not Euclidean geometry, and that's all I know, Craig. You'll have to
non-Euclidean geometry a branch of mathematics? Yes or no?
Craig, can we just get back to the X and Y on the math board?
Yeah, sure. It's a yes or no question, bud.
And I've said I don't know, Craig. So
you don't know? To clarify, you don't know. Hold on, just to clarify, Beverly, you don't know if non-Euclidean geometry is a branch of mathematics. Is that right?
Right. I have
Imaginometry.
Level. Who's that?
Level.
Sorry, what was that? What did you say about imaginometry?
Who's that? That's coming in.
What are you talking about?
You. Have you got a soundboard going?
What are you on about?
You and the soundboard, or is it somebody else that you can't hear?
What are you talking?
Very.
Are you like hearing voices in your head?
Okay, right. Let's go. Fucking hell! So childish. You've got a
what are you on about?
You've got a teacher at the whiteboard, and they've got X and
Y.
Would
that teacher say that non-Euclidean geometry is a branch of mathematics?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
Did you not do maths at school?
I did maths, yes. So you've got an X and a Y.
Really?
Now these
and you never covered non-Euclidean geometry.
Perpendicular.
Did you ever cover
axis.
non-Euclidean geometry at school?
No, we didn't.
You didn't cover non-Euclidean, so you didn't
Absolutely,
finish high school.
Yeah, I have wrote Imaginometry, which is the best non-Euclidean geometry there is. It's the most non-Euclidean geometry there is. So if you want to discuss that, we can get into that. But let's deal with X and Y on the for everybody else in reality.
Non-Euclidean geometry is a branch of mathematics, then.
Well, I say I've made the most non-Euclidean geometry there is.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, Imaginometry is the most
no such thing.
non-Euclidean geometry there is.
What is your metric for non-Euclidean? What are the units for non-Euclideanness?
Hold
How
on.
are you measuring it?
Rumpus poles.
Hold on a second, PhD. Welcome back. But it's between Craig and Bev right now.
Yeah. Was that Tony? All right, Tony. Long time no see. Hope you're doing all right. Right, so the X and the Y, them axes that you have on the on the whiteboard, they're perpendicular.
How does that work in non-Euclidean geometry?
They're perpendicular, aren't they?
You can have 2 points that are perpendicular to each other on a whiteboard, absolutely.
Points? No, you can't have points that are perpendicular. You can have lines that are perpendicular to each other. But
oh yeah,
like
okay, sorry. You can have lines that are perpendicular.
You'll get it sometime too. Yeah. Well, all of the X's on that graph, the axis, they're all parallel to each other, and they're classed as being horizontal.
On the whiteboard, yeah.
And they're horizontal.
I mean, the surface of the Earth isn't a whiteboard, so yeah, on the whiteboard they could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the horizontals are parallel within mathematics.
On a whiteboard, they could be, yeah.
And all...
Not within mathematics, in a certain circumstance within mathematics, but not all of the time, no.
Yeah, horizontals are parallel within mathematics. Within Euclidean geometry.
Not all of the time, no. Not
within
all of the time, no.
Euclidean geometry, Craig.
Yeah, but I like doing non-Euclidean geometry.
Okay.
So
I know you do, yeah.
Because the Earth's curved, so non-Euclidean geometry is more appropriate.
So would that curve your horizontals then?
Straight lines become curved.
Yeah, so the horizontal would become curved for you.
The horizontals aren't curved. No, level is curved.
Okay, so the horizontal stays straight then.
A horizontal is something that's straight. Yes.
Okay, so you can have straight lines,
level,
but not parallels.
Level.
What? Straight lines, but not parallels.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, is it?
Yeah, not all straight lines are parallel. Yeah, absolutely.
No, the horizontals within the whiteboard, right?
You said straight lines.
Horizontals are straight lines, right? On the whiteboard within mathematics.
Yeah, their horizontals are straight like that on a whiteboard. I mean, just because it's on a whiteboard doesn't make it within mathematics.
But that's reality, right? You were always taught that this graph paper that you used.
Yeah, Earth's not graph paper, so I mean, Earth's curved. Graph paper is straight.
We're talking about
horizontal. We are talking about Earth. That's what this conversation is about.
You are.
Yeah, because I talk about the shape of the Earth with flat earthers like you.
Right, but I'm not a flat earther, so we're not talking
but
about
you are
the
a flat
Earth.
earther.
We're talking about
you are a flat
establishing
earther,
a horizontal in reality.
and you can establish a horizontal, and that horizontal will be a tangent to the Earth. Yeah.
Okay, so it would be
one person's horizontal is not right. One person's horizontal is not another person's horizontal.
I don't know what that means. You don't have your own.
I know you don't. I know you don't know what that means because your brain is very tiny.
No, I mean you don't know what that means because horizontal.
No, I do know what that means.
Something that you have per person.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. One person's horizontal. I'm literally showing it on my screen. One person's horizontal.
I can't see yours.
Another person's horizontal. Well, go over to my stream on YouTube then. One person's horizontal, there. Another person's horizontal, there. Now let's remove the thing in the middle. Those horizontals are not perpendicular to each other.
The horizontals will never be perpendicular to each other, Craig.
Oh,
you muppet.
Level to each other, in line with each other.
You should try a little bit harder than this, really.
Those horizontals are not in line with each other. One person's horizontal is not another person's horizontal. That's how it works on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Horizontal and vertical are perpendicular, right?
Horizontal and vertical are perpendicular.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a statement.
Horizontal is perpendicular to vertical. Locally, yes. Your local vertical will have a horizontal that is 90 degrees from it. Correct? Right? Now, another person's vertical and horizontal will not be perpendicular to the first person's vertical.
What, the verticals won't be perpendicular to each other? No.
No,
I mean, no,
the verticals will not be perpendicular to each other, and the horizontals will not form a straight line touching each other.
Verticals can't be perpendicular to each other, can they? That's fucking ridiculous.
Of course they can be.
What? Verticals.
One vertical, another vertical. That's verticals. Two verticals being perpendicular to each other. I'm doing it right now.
Really? With plumb bobs?
Yeah.
Perpendicular plumb bobs.
What do you think the word perpendicular means?
It's at right angles, Craig.
Yeah, so you can have two things that are perpendicular to each other, right?
Yeah, but not plumb bobs.
No, the verticals will be perpendicular to each other. They will be in line with each other. But they're not on Earth. One person's vertical is not another person's vertical. Parallel. Sorry, I'm very tired, and I said perpendicular instead of parallel.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
Can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
Perhaps you should discuss.
Hold on. Let me just clarify what I was saying there. I've had a very long day, and I was saying perpendicular when I meant to say parallel. Yeah. I am correcting myself.
Somebody remind you. Who was that? Say thanks to whoever.
Somebody in my chat said that I meant that.
Somebody
and yes, they're
reminded
right.
because you were saying the wrong.
Yeah. I was saying the wrong word. Correct. Because
perhaps I should talk with the person that's correcting you.
Beverly, Beverly, there is nothing wrong with correcting yourself when you realize you have said something wrong. I realized that I said parallel, perpendicular when I meant you. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. Right?
Even
Shut
though
your
I
mouth.
tried to help you.
No, I'm still talking.
I tried to help you and say that you were saying something ridiculous.
I'm still in the middle of saying words. I'm still in the middle of saying words. So shush, right? What I meant was parallels when I said perpendiculars. I made a mistake. I am admitting that I made a mistake and said the wrong word. Someone in my chat reminded me, oh, Craig, I think you mean parallel there when you're saying perpendicular. And yes, they are right. I said the wrong word. That happens sometimes. But what I did was I admitted I was wrong, and now we can move forward with the conversation.
So can we rewind then? Can I just make sure that, did you mean to say that verticals were perpendicular, or did you mean to say that they were...
I literally just clarified what I was saying, that I meant to say parallel instead of perpendicular.
Okay.
I just clarified that.
So
I know that
so
hearing
you
is a
did mean
problem
to
for
say
you.
that verticals are parallel then, did you?
Can I make a recommendation? Because what this conversation lacks is any engagement with observational data. We can observe,
I know.
have observed for hundreds of years that verticals are not parallel to one another. There is a phenomenon in surveying called deflection of the vertical. Perhaps instead of discussing, and also if the Earth is spheroidal, then one vertical can be perpendicular to another. They just need to be 90 degrees apart on the surface of the Earth. So what Craig said is actually correct. It may not have been what he meant to discuss at the time.
Somebody corrected him. Somebody made him correct himself. He meant to say parallel, didn't you?
Yes, and I note that as soon as observational evidence, as soon as observational evidence is brought into the discussion, you just want to discuss what Craig said.
Nice save.
How about you discuss the evidence?
Nice save there, Tony. Well done.
So to clarify once again, I made a mistake and I said perpendicular when I meant to say the word parallel.
Are you sure you meant to say the word parallel?
Beverly, I'm in the middle of talking. I'm in the middle of talking. You have two ears and one mouth. Use them in that ratio. I am a very busy man with a very busy life. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I am tired at this time in the evening. I have a brand new puppy, which is very, very hard. I am tired. I made a mistake. We can now move on from that.
Vet, dude, come on. He's a disabled vet, dude.
That's irrelevant. But the point is that verticals are not parallel to each other on the surface of the Earth. And that is what we should be discussing.
Oh, have you been corrected once again? Have you been corrected for your correction? So are they perpendicular?
What are you talking about?
Are they parallel? Are you going to make your mind up?
They're not parallel on the surface. That's the point.
Are they perpendicular then?
That's what I've been saying.
Are they perpendicular then?
They can be depending on the orientation.
Okay, jolly good. So if we establish a horizontal...
let me answer that question properly. You can have one vertical perpendicular to another vertical on Earth. Absolutely. But there is no verticals on Earth that are parallel to each other.
Mm-hmm. So you were correct when you said perpendiculars to start off with then. So who is that that corrected you? I'd be telling them off. That sounds really stupid, doesn't it?
No. Again, Bev, you can have verticals that are perpendicular to each other. You can have that on Earth. When I was saying, no, you can't have that because I got the words wrong, right?
Yeah.
But what you can't have is verticals that are parallel to each other. Because we know verticals diverge. Deflection of the horizon. This is something that PhD Tony literally just told you about. We know that plumb bobs diverge. This is a measured phenomena. We have real world data and observations that show that plumb bobs diverge away from each other.
Right. That's nice. With plumb bobs?
Wait, hold on. I need to clarify once more. Rumpus has corrected me. You can have a vertical that is, you can have a vertical that is parallel to another vertical if they are opposite sides of the Earth to each other. That's the only time that can happen.
Wouldn't that be the same line, though?
Yeah, and they would be parallel to each other.
You can't have the same straight line parallel to itself. That's ridiculous. Are you
can.
sure Rumpus is the best person to be advising you?
Yeah, parallel can literally be on top of each other. They're still parallel to each other, just with a separation of 0.
A measurement of 0 separation.
A separation of 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you'd need 2 lines, and if there's a separation.
So
of 0, then that's not 2
let's
lines.
talk about
You
real
failed
world.
again,
Let's talk
Craig,
about
but
real
don't
world.
worry about it.
I didn't fail anything there. Let's talk about real world observations and data that show that plumb lines diverge. That verticals diverge away from each other. That one person's vertical is not another person's vertical. Let's discuss that. Real world observations.
Okay.
Okay. So we have real world observations. It's been measured. Yes, I can present you with many papers. Would you like to see them?
A plumb line is stationary, right? It needs to be stationary, otherwise it's a pendulum.
Yeah, and two people's plumb bobs will diverge away from each other at the top. That is what I am saying.
Okay. So
and we have measurements
saying
of that.
You can't actually have a horizontal between 2 verticals then?
Not on Earth, no.
No. But you can.
So
You?
No, you can't. So again,
you can have a horizontal that extends across 2 verticals. In reality,
no, not on Earth. In reality, no, because it would not be horizontal at both points. It would not be 90 degrees to each vertical. So that horizontal would not be perpendicular to each of the verticals.
Well, horizontal is perpendicular to vertical.
At a local point, yeah. So the horizontal would be perpendicular to the horizontal because it can't be. But it cannot be perpendicular. It cannot be perpendicular to both ends. It will only be perpendicular to a vertical in the center of the line.
Oh.
Yes, because the Earth is curved.
You can't have a perpendicular at each end, right?
Beverly.
Contradictory, doesn't it?
Beverly.
Yeah, very good.
Beverly.
You can have a perpendicular at A and B. No, can't you? Like you said.
Beverly.
Why did you swap it to the center? Why did you monad it?
Beverly.
Why did you monad it? I don't know who that is you're talking to. Where you just randomly saying some strange words. I haven't got a clue who that is, Craig.
Beverly,
we went from A to B and we had a perpendicular at each of them.
I'm trying to talk.
And then all of a sudden you had the one in the centre that was perpendicular. What
that's the only one
the
that's going to be
ones
perpendicular.
A and B that were perpendicular?
They're not perpendicular to the line. They're not horizontal. The
That's
horizontal
where we
is not
initially
perpendicular.
established the horizontal.
Well, it's not going to be horizontal. Then it won't be horizontal to both of them. Right. Now, Beverly, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on...
I'm not too sure you should be doing this, Craig.
Beverly,
I don't know.
We are going to focus on real-world measurements.
Calling for some woman or something. I haven't got a clue, Craig.
Yes.
You'll have to...
We are going to focus on
going through one of
real-world...
your episodes at the minute, Craig.
We are going to focus on real-world observations. Are you listening?
Focus on whatever you want, Craig. You can...
You and I in this conversation now are going to focus on real-world observations.
Person.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Beverly. So calm down.
No, I see. That's not me. You keep mistaking, Craig.
It certainly is you, Beverly. It certainly is you.
Well, I'm going to get going, and then you can have your conversation with this woman that you're talking.
Are you going to run away as soon as I want to talk about real-world observations?
I'm talking to some other person that I'm not. You're not talking to me, Craig. So there's no point in actually being here. It's all right.
I'm literally talking to you. I'm talking to you, Beverly, right now.
I'll see you next time, Craig.
Are you going to run away?
It's been fun chatting with...
Are you going to run away, Bev?
I'm not running anywhere, Craig.
You're about to run away now, Bev, aren't you?
Space to talk to this woman.
You're going to run away, aren't you, Bev?
I'm not going to run anywhere. I'm just leaving to give you space to talk to this
Paul, are you running away?
that you want to talk to.
Paul, are you running away,
Paul?
Paul?
Oh, my God. Oh, Christ. Yeah. True level, bitch.
I can't be doing with that. There's obviously there's no debate there. That's fucking ridiculous. Back in the stream. He's not right in the head. He doesn't, well, obviously, you can't have this horizontal that he has. Yeah, well, that wasn't a rage quit. I can't be arsed dealing with all of that. He's trying to do the Beverly stuff. He doesn't know what the horizontal is, and he couldn't have the perpendiculars at the end of it. So tough for a dogmatic globe at the minute, but I mean, reality is reality. I don't know what the fuck he's dealing with. So that's it, done now. Flat Earth is fucking ridiculous. Fight the Flat Earth and his stupid ideas of whatever that is. That should be that's enough for people to know, right? That if you go round and have a chat with anybody and they just keep calling you a woman's name because they think it triggers you, well, is that a conversation? Is that what people expect from this arena? I mean, he wanted to call it a debate, but there was no arguments presented. I mean, if he wants to have a debate, we can do the debate about level being horizontal, but it'll have to be a little bit better than that. We'll run over everybody through the tests that we've done and all that. Thanks for watching. What time is it?
That was shit from his side, complete. Really very low.
He sounded unhinged.
He doesn't have any geometrical knowledge at all. At all, like literally none. That was bad.
The fact that he said verticals can't be parallel to each other, but they can be perpendicular to each other. I thought that was beautiful.
He swapped it round because he was saying perpendicular.
Yeah.
I said, is that right? And he went, no, somebody's informed me. I meant to say parallel. And then, oh, whoops, no, they can't be parallel. Yes, they are perpendicular again. That was a full cycle of the parallel perpendicular.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
And this
and then he decided they can be parallel if they have a difference of 0.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off when he said that.
Tony was trying to help him, but in fact he made things worse even. So that was funny part.
Well, to be fair, PhD Tony's therapist thinks he's crazy too.
Yeah, even more than Craig, but yeah.
He needed some help, though, I must admit. I mean, and if PhD Tony's the guy that you want to save you from the sidelines, phone a friend. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, all I've got to do now is show this measured plumb line divergence, did he say? I think it might be stretching the simultaneous below beyond its limits. And little do they know that we're the ones that have the dogmatic proof of the globe. I don't know how long that's going to be going on for over there, but they'll have to be well, I probably ran, so therefore Fight the Flat Earth can claim a victory over that.
Yes, but this is, for me, it was just very low. From I hoped that after this conversation with Jaron, he would be somehow more polite and tidy or whatever. But he started maybe even well, but I'm talking only about his behavior, not about arguments. But when he slipped, Then he went angry, and he turned into old Craig, mental Craig.
Yeah, I'm still wondering how they're going to get past the horizontal and vertical being perpendicular. I mean, I did try to get out the two straight lines perpendicular to another straight line, a third straight line. But I don't know, like, because they can't follow that. And it's become blatantly obvious that the perpendicular argument, I bet he tried to warn them. It's tough. How do you deal with it? You just have to deal with the contradiction. You're going to have to sell people this contradiction. Just like me dad, you're just going to have to deal with level being horizontal. Just put it on your globe and go about your daily business. But then nothing happened. Try and forget about it. Argue something else. Pretend. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, Danger says. He's polite to people who play the game with them. Because, I mean, fight the flat earth. That's what he did, isn't it? He's placing level being horizontal as flat earth. Just like Nathan Oakley's doing. There's no difference between the two of them. It's not flat earth, but horizontals existing is enough trouble for fight the flat earth. People know that. Hopefully more people will be seeing it, and well, it's not proof of a flat earth because the earth isn't flat. Just reality. There's elevation changes. Deal with it. There's no squares on the globe. His non-Euclidean geometry is a massive fail. Anybody wants to know anything about that? Let us know.
Yeah, and maybe you should ask him about axioms and definitions in non-Euclidean geometry.
You can't get into that. He doesn't even know what perpendicular and parallel is. That's how badly Fight the Flat Earth can deal with logic and geometry. Doesn't even know the basics. He has air tangents because that's the narrative that he knows. It's the only narrative he knows as well. Sad. We should imaginometry. I'm not joking as well. If anybody wants to come and have a look at the most non-Euclidean geometry there is. We don't use any of Euclid stuff. None of it. The most, I like that. The most non-Euclidean geometry in the world. Might have to get a trailer going for that. So yes, I know more about non-Euclidean geometry than Fight the Flat Earth does. And I'm not joking about that either. And nobody gets taught non-Euclidean geometry at school. That's ridiculous. I don't know why he thinks he says that. Spherical trig is not non-Euclidean. It is entirely Euclidean. Don't let anybody fool you about that. If anybody ever says trigonometry, that's entirely Euclidean. No matter what some criminal who's gets angry, has anger issues. He struggles to keep control of his anger to the fact that he beats people up.
Yes, he was losing every bit of conversation, in fact. So that's why he went angry. So that's, and from his side, it was very poor conversation. Really, if he's talking with someone like Reichi, for example, he can talk endlessly because he knows that he will not be cornered. But while talking with you, yes, it ended many times that he was cornered, he said stupid things, and he went angry because he was losing, of course.
Well, I'd say losing. Don't think that was a debate. There wasn't no win or lose in that. I had to thank him really for bringing me into this. I came looking for Jesse Kozlowski, right? But he was the one that said non-Euclidean geometry. Obviously, I'd heard of Euclidean, but when he used that in a debate, that was pretty obvious then that straight lines don't curve. But so that needed to be looked at, and the reason we're here with all of this logic behind us now, all of the proofs, is because he brought non-Euclidean. As though he's tried to do it again tonight, as though it's some sort of an argument. It's the worst non-argument there is. What's that you got? Wow, that's a fair bit of money, isn't it? Or is that one of those ones where he'll get well supported? Also, wherever. Yeah, that'd be Slice Barcane. He always used to do that sort of stuff. 666. It's like a boys' club that we're obviously not in. And like Nathan Oakley's tried to get rid of us, calling us spastics and all that sort of stuff. And now Fight the Flat Earth, he's trying to put us in the same thing with him. So,
you still live, Bev, or no?
No, I'm just about to shut it off now. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know about that sort of stuff. If anybody else wants to come and have a chat, let's just come and have a chat. It's too much fighting against people that have so much a fight about a straight line. In reality, like you keep it's too much. So we're just going to have these conversations and come out with the proofs that we've got, and like we can get rid of them now because they're all ridiculous. Flat earthers and the people that want to label you as flat earthers, they're just as bad as each other. Thank you very much for watching. And I don't know, what is it? Thursday? I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on. We might have a bit of a chat about this tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and peace out. No.